On this week's episode of Sloth of Chunk, we have a Union TT-42. That is the actual model name. It's not a model number. It's literally what it's called. I imagine originally it was something like a basic, possibly plain Jane economy model. Who knows? But yeah, just TT-42. 42 means 42-inch fan. There's also its larger sibling, the TT-52, which you also don't really see much of because standard Unions they're not common. Spinners were all the rage between Union and Evergo being, the same entity, but you don't see standard variations very often. You don't see standard Unions, you don't see standard Evergos, you don't. Now this one, cast switch housing, heavy cast iron motor, nice teak blades, and blade tips sharp enough to poke your eye out with. Sharp. Now, another thing you might notice is that the blade irons, at least the hole pattern, is a bit wide. The motor screw spacing is much wider than your average 42-inch blade iron. It's about the same size as, say, Sierra, Design House, whatever contrast used. Yeah, bit better than normal, which is a nice, interesting tidbit there. Now, when I first saw this thing, I thought it was a Moss. I thought it was a Moss heirloom. I really did. Then I finally actually got it, saw the label, and was like, wait, something's up here. And as a result, I was a bit more thrilled than I anticipated. Anyway, let's see how this chunk performs. The bearings are a little rough and a little dry, so they hiss a bit. And there's that stupid whirl, so. The motor also moans on low speed, which, when it comes to the ceiling hugger model, the Union hugger, they're loud as hell when they're on the ceiling, because the moan, the vibration reverberates through the ceiling. Yeah, not exactly a bedroom fan. But this case is only on low. Anyway, let's go to medium. Medium is pretty much high speed, and even that's a bit fast for most high speeds for 42-inch fans. The thing with early residential fan, standard configured fans, right, non-spinner, you know what I mean, right? They basically used industrial motors, which were geared for high speed and low torque. So they had to give these fans a shallow blade pitch to compensate. So the speeds are higher. Instead of high. Really, there isn't too much difference between medium and high speeds, which I find kind of interesting. If I had a 4-speed pull chain, I would probably end up converting this thing to 4-speed. But on the flip side of that, these stupid fans use a double layer pull chain, which if you know anything about double layer pull chains, you know they're a bit of a pain in the ass. So, it's a chunky boy. Oh, let's let it go. And also, reverse it. So yeah, the Union TT-42 and the TT-52, they are remarkably similar to the Chunky G events made by Winco, which were marketed as Moss and various others. So, I mean, hell, it even has the sharp-tipped teak blades that Wincos generally use, so interesting. But then again, the blade irons are very different, so had to have been a knockoff. Straight up knockoff in terms of parts. Okay, now I'm gonna run the fan in reverse. Now, like other standard unions, it's slower in updraft than it is in downdraft. These motors weren't really designed so much for reverse. You know, they were designed for downdraft, which was the design that most industrials, you know, were made for. But then again, I might be wrong, because it seems like it's getting up to about the same speed. It might be slightly slower, only slightly. Maybe the speed variation in updraft isn't as significant as I thought it would have been. I'll do medium speed. No, I actually can see the difference now. The medium really is more normal. Well, not really, but it's slower than downdraft medium. Now let's go to high. That chunk, though. Yeah, on updraft high speed, it's more normal for a 42-inch fan. So, yeah. It's another nice chunk. If I remember correctly, the 42-inch ceiling hugger that I had actually used a standard pattern, so this one is a bit unique. Perhaps older. I want to say it's older. Maybe very early 80s. The ceiling hugger used the same motor. At least I think it did. And yeah, standard hole pattern. So. Then again, you know how I like weird. And this thing certainly fits the bill. Came with the tassel pull chain, which is always a nice thing to have. And there you have it. A 42-inch Union TT-42 Chunk GE vent.